welcome back, Recliner Sports Reporters, to Keep the Change podcast. Robbie, how we
What's up,
doing?
everybody?
Dude, so everyone, just so you guys know, this is a special show because Robbie barely made it. He's doing good now, but Robbie's back from the land of the living. How you feeling good though? You sure you're ready to do the show? That's a true warrior
Yeah,
right there.
good, good. MJ had the flu game. I had a Philly cheesesteak that didn't settle well with me today. Hit me on the way home, but we're back to life.
Dude, that Philly special, man. That'll get it to you.
Ooh.
Awesome. So we have a lot to talk about today. So let's just get right into it. So I know we were kind of just talking the XFL, man. The XFL is started last weekend, and there were some interesting rules. We were just talking about the kickoff. All right, this one's very interesting. So, um, only the kicker and the returner on kickoff plays will be allowed to move until the ball is caught, or it's been on the ground for less than 3 seconds. So, what's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I think it adds excitement back to the kickoffs again because it's a way that they're still considering player safety. They don't have these guys running, full speed from 70 yards away at each other, smacking it on. And then, it's always fun when there's more touchdowns. It's a chance for an exciting long touchdown play. Why not?
Dude, yeah, right. And there were some big names. Gordon's back.
Yeah.
The redemption.
Dude had all the chances in the world in the NFL, but I'm happy to see him back out on a football field again, and I'm sure at this point he'll still probably dominate at that. I mean, the guy is a physical specimen. He's a freak.
That's like to say, like, I wonder if like Ricky Williams were to like, come back, bro. Like the NFL did that guy dirty.
Yeah. Ricky might be a little past the playing age at this point. He's got enough other stuff going on with his marijuana lines. I'm sure he's all right.
Yeah, he's doing good. But also like AJ McCarron, he's back, right? Like that. Some crazy names out there. All right, another one that was a cool rule. All right, we were talking about they can kick an extra point, they can do 2 points, or the 3-pointer. What's your thoughts on the 3-pointer, man?
I think it's. Oh, sorry, I felt like I was about to sneeze there, but I think it's exciting. Something different. You can't score every time from the 10, so it's probably not more than likely going to happen. But if I have Josh Gordon on my team, I feel comfortable going for it from the 10. The dude can probably out jump just about everybody in the league still at this point. So why not just throw it up to him, let him make a play?
Yeah, no, I like that. That makes games really interesting to watch. Also adds a lot of excitement if you have money on the game, because especially if your team's down. Speaking of which, if your team is down, you can get a fourth. You can do in the fourth quarter if you can elect to do instead of an onside kick, which onside kicks are still allowed. You can
Mhm.
pick to do a 4th and 15 play to retain possession and keep the offense on the field. I really like that. That's exciting.
So I read somewhere that that rule was actually put in front of the NFL at one point a few years ago, and the NFL shot it down. I think they need to go back and look at that again because, man, only the Browns lose games on onside kicks, so we just need to
Dude,
get rid of them all together, anyways.
that just makes like the whole like if you have like yeah, like if you have a team on the other end of that and you don't have to worry about an onside kick like that. And like that's like a pretty I feel like it's fair. Like it's 4th and 15. It's one shot. And you got to get 15 yards. I feel like getting an onside kick and getting a 4th and 15. Not I probably onside kick's probably way harder still, but
Yeah.
still the level of difficulty is there. It's not just like a walk in the park play. Like that's a
Yeah.
I
He's
like
burnt
I
still.
like it. Yeah, I like it. Um, definitely exciting. I'm gonna be tuning in to watch more. I didn't really watch the games much. I just saw the highlights this weekend because I was too focused switching it up here. Tiger Woods is back, baby. And I tell you what, he played really, really well, considering the guy couldn't walk a year ago to him going out and finishing -1 on the tournament. Like that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes the endurance to be able to go all weekend like that. Like, it just goes to show how hard he's been working to get back at it. Take
And
it through.
his like driving
Help
distances,
him get there.
yeah, and his driving distances, he was like,
He's smacking it still.
yeah, on like the first day, he had like one of the longest drives of the day at like 368. Like, could you imagine hitting the ball? I can't even get 268, and this dude's
Yeah,
smacking that thing 368.
yeah. After, like you said, not even being able to barely walk a year ago and still hitting the ball that far.
That's crazy. It is definitely making golf fun to watch again. I will admit it was actually entertaining to watch. And I feel bad because John Rahm played an epic round. I didn't even really watch him at all, and he had like a really, really great round. But because I all my attention was on Tiger. But I'm excited. I know he came out and said that he'll only be playing in the majors. He'll play a couple tournaments and then the Masters. So I know I'll be tuning in to watch. Again, he just makes it fun to watch.
Yeah, and we need something right now because, I said earlier, this is the worst time of the year for sports. No NBA this weekend or this, part of the week. No NFL. MLB hasn't really started. I know pitchers and catchers reported, but man, I'm struggling right now.
Yeah, there's not a lot, and um, it's that kind of off period right before March Madness starts. Um, and speaking of that, not a lot to watch. Right into it. NBA All Star Game this weekend. What was your thoughts, man?
And it was better than I feel like it's been in years past. I liked the live draft. That was exciting to watch. Um, I'm not really sure the NBA All Star Game will ever be what it used to be. There's just no defense at all. I know there hasn't been for quite a while, but it's
So,
basically just an extension of the 3-point contest and slam dunk contest.
so that's the
I'm
thing.
okay with it. It's exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like I get it, but there were players consistently just jacking it up from like half court. Now, I do understand that the more points that were scored, the more money went to the charities. So I get that. There was a lot of money made for a lot of charities, which is really that's great. But
That's all.
it does make you wonder like is this like what are we watching? Like at that point, like then change if it's all about the points, then do another 3-point do something else, but like it just yeah there was literally no one trying on any defense. It was floodgates were open.
Except for your little Celtics match right there on Tatum and Brown went at it. That I got to say was my favorite part of the All Star game.
Tatum was I was so mad at Tatum because that guy every time I feel like I have money on his points, rebounds, and assists in the fourth. Remember the fourth quarter of the other game where he just
Oh
literally
man,
took off the whole fourth quarter except
did
for when his
nothing.
team needed 2 points. Then he scored his 2 points, which again was just like that's how good you are. Like you could literally have done this already. All he needed was one more rebound, and the
Yep.
dude watched 3 rebounds just go by, and then oh, you need 2 points to end the game. I got you. And then he went out and just did that. And it's just like that's the thing. It's like it makes you so frustrated because he is that dude. He is so good. It's like why aren't you playing like that all the time? Like how can you be so confident to just pull up and just smash threes like that, but in the game you fall apart? And I get yeah, the defense wasn't like pressing you too hard, but like God, you can do it. You just showed that you could do it. Like why
There
aren't you?
should never be. I mean, everybody's going to have their rare off night here and there, but there should be never a night that he's getting under 20 points.
No, never. in that
Not
one
with
game.
that type of skill level, athleticism. Like he's just too talented that he should be putting up 20 points, 6, 7 rebounds, and probably 4 to 5 assists minimum every single night.
Minimum. And again, he can do that in his sleep when he wants to, but you can clearly tell when he doesn't want to, and he just literally is walking like we said. All we needed was him to have a double double, and he needed one more rebound or one more assist, and he only had 10 points on the night. He doesn't score any points in the second half until the final minute of the fourth quarter. He goes and scores 2 points to put his team up by 6, and he walked the whole entire fourth quarter, walked up and down the court like it just goes to show again how good this man really is. Um, Speaking of people that are good, um, Russell Westbrook to the
The big
clip
three in LA.
to the Clippers. What's your thoughts on that one?
Defensively, that team is going to be a handful. Russ, when he wants to, he's still just a pester. He's so quick. He can stay up and Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi's Kawhi. He's the claw. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. So those two together, PG 13 can lock down. All three of them can get buckets when need be. I know everybody likes to hate on Russ, but
Yeah,
he can
I
contribute to a
I've
good
be
team.
I've become more of a Russell Westbrook fan over the years. I think the dude plays hard and he plays whatever team he's on, he's going 100% for. I do feel like the Lakers kind of just gave up on him towards the end, and I don't necessarily agree because like he was brought in to help that team, and I don't know what happened, but he I don't know if it was locker room stuff or what, but like honestly, you look back because I just saw like Pat Beverly, he's signing with Chicago now,
Yeah,
so
he said that the East looks like it'd be easy.
yeah, so I don't know what's going on in LA, and it seemed like again Russ moving out seemed like a better move for Russ, and I agree. I want to see him do well. I feel like what happened to him at OKC when everyone kind of just left him and he had to do it all by himself, and he put up all those triple doubles that one year. Like it stunk to see that happen to him. But then you think like, okay, well maybe he wasn't that great of a teammate. But then you see the people that he played with become so you know, like KD, like such a diva, and
Yeah,
James Harden and the stuff that he's kind of gone through. You start to think like
yeah.
maybe it really wasn't Russ. So I'm excited for the Clippers. I think that's a good thing. I think that makes them, like you said, I think that makes them a very, very dominant team.
Mhm.
Um, Speaking of other trades here, all right, fill me. I'm lost here with the Kevin Love situation. So he's in Miami now, correct?
Yeah, so the Cavs, I guess, just I don't know. So I know they wanted to get Dean Wade more playing time. They play the same position. Dean Wade's 10 years younger, more athletic, much better defensively at this point. And Love, I guess, just wasn't ready to completely just take on that mentor role. He was probably going to be our 12th guy off the bench, 11th guy off the bench the rest of the season at this point. So if he goes and he can get some tick down in Miami, I'll never have any ill feelings towards Kevin Love. Wish he would have went somewhere in the West so we didn't have to worry about seeing him in a playoff series. He could lock down when it comes down to it. Steph Curry didn't think so, but he proved him wrong in the 2016 finals.
Right, exactly. No, it just was so it was crazy because I remember he was going to Cleveland to get his jersey retired,
Yeah,
and now he's down in South Beach in Miami, which I do think again, Miami needed someone. Butler has been struggling with that team by himself. I get they got Bam, but like I really do feel like Jimmy Butler has been having to carry the weight of Miami for the past couple seasons. Meanwhile, he's been facing some juggernaut offenses throughout the whole entire that whole entire conference.
yeah,
And for him to pick up someone like I think that really does bring a lot of value to the Heat, even though again, I know Love's on the tail end here, but Duke can still ball. Duke can still play. He's won championships. I think that he's the right guy to kind of, you know, help Miami kind of maybe get over that challenge of the Celtics right now, because the Celtics have so much talent that's so young, and Butler really can't do. And again, I don't think Tyler Hero's the guy. Like he's a fun gimmick, but he's not. You're not winning championships with just him alone on your team. You need someone else that can facilitate the game, score buckets when they need to. I mean, that was why I feel like the Heat were so good back when LeBron was there, was because there were so many other role players that they had
Yeah.
too. And Tyler Hero's not that type of role player. He's a fun gimmick. And Bam's good, but he's still very raw. I think Jimmy I think that's gonna help them. It's gonna help the Heat out a lot.
Yeah, but I really don't think. I think there's two tiers in the East, even as far as the playoff teams go. And I think you got Milwaukee, Boston, Cleveland, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly's
The
been
top
tough.
four. I feel like one of those four teams is going to be who wins the East.
I would say I think the favorites have got to be the Celtics. They've been just playing great basketball
Yeah.
all year. I think the Bucks are tough, but I think the Cavs beat the Bucks. I think the 76ers are they're one Ben Simmons play away from just, you know, self imploding. So I really think it comes down to this year. It depends on where they match up in the playoffs, but I think we
Hmm.
should see a Celtics Cavs conference final again, unless it happens earlier. But I think to me, Celtics and Cavs are the the top juggernauts right now
Those are
of
my
the
two
Eastern
favorite
Conference.
teams.
And you're not wrong. And that brings us back over to the West, though. Can LeBron push the Lakers to a playoff push? Can he get in there? Now, a lot of stuff happens after All-Star breaks. Can LeBron do it? Do you think he has the chance?
And I don't. I hate to say this, but I don't think he's got the help. I just don't think there's enough there to do it. Something's going on between him and Anthony Davis, and I think that's who they should have moved at the trade deadline.
Did you see that picture that went out when LeBron scored
Yep.
his
Oh,
points and the whole bench, the whole arena is going crazy. You just see Anthony Davis just like, why am I here? Almost. And it was just
yeah,
like, what are you doing, buddy?
yeah. Like, hey, man, you realize whether you want to admit it now, this is a historic event. This is a historic moment. You got a front row seat for it, bro. You're on the court, and
He
you're
lo-
not.
he looked like the drunk kid at the party who's had way too much to drink, and it's during the Super Bowl, and all this craziness going on. They're just too drunk to even notice what's going on. Um, yeah, but that's is maybe Anthony Davis, is he a bust player? I mean, maybe he's really not as good as we all thought he was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the talent's still there. I just don't think he has any killer instinct at all in him. People like to say that about LeBron. LeBron's got some dog in him. He may not be on the Kobe Jordan level when it comes down to it. At the end of the game, he's not going to for sure take the last shot if one of his teammates has a wide open shot. He's going to make the right basketball play, but that's just because that's the type of player he is. I just don't see that at all in Anthony Davis. He's just, hate to say it, but he seems like he's soft.
That's a really good point. But again, I think that brings up the question, like, if you're the big guy that's supposed to be that person and you can't be that person when you have LeBron, like if I was in his position,
Yeah,
right? Like
it's LeBron. You can't do it.
you have LeBron with you, like that would make me want to play up to that level. And he's just almost acting like a baby almost. And it's like,
Yep.
I, and I know he didn't even really play much last year, right? He was injured. And this year he's been just really quiet. And again, he should be dominating. He's not a bad player, but
No,
he's just not doing anything. Yeah, that's really
no.
what it comes. He's just not doing anything. Like do math. Like, do something. He's just not doing anything, and it's like,
Uh,
what are you
other
doing?
other Robins to LeBron's Batman. I'm still excited to see this Kyrie and Luca tandem.
Yes.
I
Uh,
mean, I have no idea if it's going to work at all. It could be beautiful. It could be hideous. They could love each other, or it could be done at the end of the season. You never know.
yeah, I think it really going to come down to how long can Luca keep that guy happy.
Yeah,
I feel like, you know, Kyrie's ready to kind of turn over a new leaf, but he said the same thing when he went to the Nets. He said the same thing when he went to the Celtics, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, how long is it going to last? Like you said, like, how long can until the honeymoon phase is over?
yeah.
Like, I think, like, I think
How many times can it be the other people's fault?
yeah, and I think this playoff series, because they should make the playoffs. I don't think that
Yeah,
there's any that should be fine. I think what happens is playoffs. If they lose, how does he react? If they win, then all right, that makes sense. But like, really,
yeah,
I think the true test of people isn't when you're winning; it's what you do when you lose games. And the honeymoon's over then, and then what? Whose fault is it, right? Like, how do you move on from that? I think that's really, you're going to start seeing kind of what happens with. I think right now you're just going to see two guys that are just going to kind of get to know each other, but everything will come to light come this playoffs when it's do or die
yeah.
time.
And as much as I hate to say this, and it's hard to look at the teams when healthy or even healthy-ish and pick anybody other than Golden State coming out of the West.
Dude, I think that, and it's crazy to say this, that they've just been so dominant for so long, and you almost forget to talk about them because they're just so dominant. But like, what team out there, even if they're stacked, is going to be able to beat them in a 7 game series?
I mean, so was it within the last month or so? The Cavs played Golden State. Golden State was sitting Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They smoked us with Jordan Poole, Dante DiVincenzo, and a cast of misfits.
And Andrew Wiggins, man, don't forget about Wiggins, dude. That dude's a
Yeah.
dog.
But it was ugly. I didn't honestly remember that Wiggins was in Golden State still. I thought they had traded him.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They got so much depth, and it's not even in just their starters. Like, Draymond's good, but I feel like, again, he's more of just a gimmick and just a enforcer for them. Like,
Yeah.
that dude is, talk about a role
The
player,
dirty work.
right? Talk about a role player.
That's the type of player you need one of those in a dynasty.
Yeah. Dennis Rodman,
Yep.
those guys, just dirty,
Liam Beer back in the day.
just
There's
gets
just
to work.
always that one guy in every dynasty that just he does all the dirty stuff. He's not the prettiest. He's not going to score a ton of points, but he just fills the stat sheet and gets under the skin of the other team.
Yeah, go pick their best player and
Yep.
piss them off to a point where they can't play basketball anymore.
Every
Gotcha.
time they're not looking at you, take a jab at his kidney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it
Just
done.
grab his skin. Do what you have to.
Get it done. Get it done to win. No, it's definitely going to be exciting here. I feel like, I mean, this is the exact same part of the season last year where the Celtics weren't even in contention to make the playoffs, and then they went on that 20 game win streak, and then ended up
Yep.
going to the finals. So stuff always happens here after the break. These are where teams make pushes. I hope LeBron can and the Lakers can figure it out, just because you want to see LeBron do good. But like you said, I just don't think that he has the support. I think anyone out of that conference is going to have a tough time going through Golden State. And I think it's going to be I think it's really tough right now. The East, yeah, Pat Bev was wrong there.
Yeah.
The East has way too much teams that have potential. You can't really, I don't think you can just narrow it down over there. Um,
Yeah. He didn't even go to a top four team in the East.
yeah, right. Not the Bulls. I mean, even though the Bulls are still doing pretty good, but
Yeah. They're not bad at all. They got a lot of talent. DeRozan and Levine's been they've become a hell of a 1-2 punch together. But still, I mean, you could throw out many 1-2 punches in the East that are still better.
Yeah.
I mean, Tatum Brown, Embiid Harden, Mitchell Garland. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
No, it's definitely, I feel like the
and just
East is,
saw that Lonzo Ball is done for the season now officially today
oh
too.
man, what happened to him?
Um, it was a very vague description. It said that he feels discomfort when trying to perform high level basketball activities. No clue what that means.
I just saw there was a article written about Jordan called this type of play out of NBA players where he said, you're not going to see players play sick, play with hurt ankles. You're not going to see that type of basketball anymore. Which again, players shouldn't have to do that, but it does then give them a lot of like, what are they sitting out for? I remember the days where who was that guy on the Pistons who came Prince? He'd come out with that face mask and like,
Yeah, Tayshaun
yeah,
Prince.
he would just come out with his face mask and just knew he was going to get beat and like just caused mayhem. You had dudes that just didn't matter. They wanted to win games, and I feel like right now everyone's more worried about getting paid and not
Yep.
really more worried about winning basketball games. And it's kind of washed it up a little bit.
That reminded me of Anthony Edwards. I don't remember the exact quote, but he had a quote about that All Star weekend that he said that something about his biggest thing that he would change in the NBA or his biggest disappointment is just all these guys sitting out all the time for no reason. He went along the lines of sounded like Kobe's statement a few years back about you have families that this is possibly the only time ever that they're going to get to an NBA game, and you never know that kid might be there just to see you. And if you can play, if there's any way possible you can get out there, why not do it? You need to get out there and put on a show. You're getting paid a lot of good money to go
Yeah.
do that. You need to go out, be out there for the fans.
Yeah. Could you imagine that you worked all year to save up money for this game and the top players are choosing to sit out and again, a lot of I get sometimes it's like legit injuries, but a lot of the times you're seeing this like undisclosed injury, right? Like
Yeah.
uh possible shoulder or finger or pinky
Not
toe.
happen anymore. I mean, they don't even try to hide the fact that it's load management.
It really is. And I
Don't
think that, yeah.
anymore already. So like, I don't understand. I get 82 games is a lot in a season, but man, those guys got top of the line treatment. They are eating the best food. They have every possible thing there to set them up for success. Injuries happen, but you got to get out there and play when you can.
Yeah, I think it's all like you said, just load management and like I hate to say it, but I think everyone's just gotten a little soft over the years, man. And I
Yeah,
don't even know like what happened. Like, I can't even pinpoint like one thing that was like, oh, that was the turn point. It's just like gradually. Actually, you know what? If I could pinpoint to one thing, I feel like it was when LeBron went down in one of the championship games with like cramps in Miami. Do you remember that? Do you remember what I'm talking? Do you remember that game?
it was like getting carried off the floor.
Yeah, like I feel like that's when they started happening more.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I know it's a completely different sport, but I think back to like Cal Ripken.
Yeah,
Dude played in what 2,000 plus straight games.
didn't miss a game.
Didn't miss a game. These dudes can't play a month straight without missing a game, and they're playing 3 games a week.
Like I feel like everyone's a little hurt, you know?
They were riding on freaking bluebirds back then. All right, maybe not that. He was still flying, but. look at what they had treatment wise. Look at their travel back then. And that dude was still able to go out there and do it for 2,000 plus games. These guys can't play 15 games without taking a night off for rest.
Yeah, most of these guys were still traveling on the buses, man. They were just taking they weren't even taking the private jets to games yet.
Yeah.
That's yeah, I don't know, man. It's gone soft, and I don't think it's gonna get any tougher. I think it's just is what it is at this point, and I think we're just kind of stuck in this. We're just stuck here. We're just stuck here, and this is what we're watching. You know.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, well, actually, one thing I want to talk about, anyone in northern Ohio, Michigan, and the surrounding areas, if you're ever in Dundee, Michigan, you got to go try River's Edge Pizza. River's Edge Pizza. They're Chicago pizza. No affiliation with them, but it was the best pie I've had in my freaking life.
Was that the one you sent me on Snapchat?
Yeah, drove 2 hours just for the pizza. Well worth it. Done it
Where
twice.
where was that again?
River's Edge Pizza. It is in Dundee, Michigan, just right off of 23.
River's Edge Pizza, Dundee, Michigan. Let us send us some free pies, man. We'd love to shout you out more. Yeah, no affiliation, but hey, anytime there's a good pie, you got to shout it out, right? I mean, what's life without being able to taste a good pie, man?
Heck yeah! Right now I'm trying to work on. Got a buddy at work. Jake's got his pilot's license. So found another one up in Muskegon, Michigan. Trying to work on getting him to fly us up there to go try it. 5.5 hours is a little bit too much to drive both ways.
No, you gotta work. Come on, guess that's just pay for the gas to get on the plane. Let them get you up there. That's worth it.
Hey, I'm working on it. We're working on it. Jake,
Awesome.
get that pizza.
Well, let's try to time that up. I'm coming. I'll be up there end of April. The Bird Golf outing just announced its dates, April 29th. So I'll probably be up that week of April. Maybe we'll get on a plane and go get some pizza in Michigan.
Hey,
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to another week's episode of Keep the Change podcast. For all of our sports picks, make sure to follow us on Twitter at recliner_report. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for all of your continued support. Also, we released some new merch. We have our Tiger Sunday Red collection that just came out over on our Recliner Sports Report merch store. And later this week, we'll be dropping our St. Patty's Day merch line. So keep an eye out for that. You can use the code TIGER for free shipping from now until Friday. So it's officially golf season. So get yourself your polo for your Sunday Reds. We got a pretty sweet hat there too. Alrighty. Thank you so much again, Ravi, my friend. Have a great night. Hope you feel better.
man.
Hope you feel better, buddy.
Thanks.
And as always, everyone, keep the change.